It was a best-selling book first, then became a movie that changed the face of cinema and spawned a very popular franchise. But which Jurassic Park movie is the best one? That's exactly the question we're going to answer here today. Dinosaurs have graced the big screen for more than 100 years in many forms: animatronic, rubber suits, stop motion, and 2D animation. But it wasn't until 1993's Jurassic Park that the prehistoric creatures reached a higher level of evolution thanks to groundbreaking CGI that set a brand new industry standard in Hollywood. Since then, 4 more films have been added to the franchise, raking in billions of dollars at the box office. But some were definitely better than others, so if I were to rank each movie from least favorite to favorite, this is how I would do it. Starting off at number 5, Jurassic Park 3. Of all the Jurassic movies, this one is by far the runt of the litter. Even though Dr. Alan Grant, played by Sam Neill, makes his return to the franchise for the first time since Jurassic Park 1, everything about this movie feels so much smaller in scale compared to everything else. The story's far less believable and full of so many plot holes. Besides Dr. Grant, all the characters in this movie feel expendable. We don't get enough character development to even care if anything happens to these people, and it doesn't help that they are easily the most annoying characters in the entire franchise. And the visual effects in this movie are by far the worst of all the films. Even for the time, they felt low budget and almost made this movie feel like a direct-to-DVD release. And it doesn't help that Jurassic Park 3 is also the shortest of the bunch, with a total running time of only 92 minutes. That's a half hour shorter than any other Jurassic Park movie. And that brings us to my number 4 favorite movie, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. This one is the most recent addition to the franchise and is a direct sequel to 2015's Jurassic World. Now I have to say the first half of this movie is actually really enjoyable. It's when the characters leave the island and bring all these dinosaurs to a remote mansion that things change drastically. It's a really interesting direction to steer the future of this franchise toward, but I'm not sure all Jurassic Park fans are going to like it. Now, even though I don't like the overall plot of this movie, Fallen Kingdom is beautifully directed. I would even go so far as to say that aside from the first Jurassic Park, this movie is the most visually stunning in the entire franchise. And now my number 3 favorite movie goes to 2015's Jurassic World. 14 years after Jurassic Park 3 hit theaters, Universal finally revived the franchise with a fresh new cast and even more dinosaurs. Now I ended up liking this movie a lot more than I expected to, and it was really cool to finally see a dinosaur park up and running before everything falls apart and goes wrong. The CGI dinosaurs looked superb, and the idea of making a genetically enhanced hybrid dinosaur the main threat in the movie was a nice touch. The cast and characters are even pretty solid, but I do wonder though if the movie would be as enjoyable if someone else was casting Chris Pratt's role. Jurassic World does have its flaws though. Most of the characters feel like they're not developed enough and you find yourself not really caring what happens to them. For the most part, Colin Trevorrow does a solid job directing this movie, but overall I will say Jurassic World is a pretty good addition to the franchise. Now coming in at number 2 is Jurassic Park: The Lost World. Now, I know a lot of you may not agree with me for this movie at number 2, just know that I have this one barely edging out Jurassic World for the number 2 spot. For me, that deciding factor is Steven Spielberg, who returned to direct this movie 4 years after the success of Jurassic Park. Even though this is arguably one of Spielberg's worst movies, I would still argue that it has some of the best visuals and moments in the entire franchise. I do feel like this movie gets a bit of a bad rap. You have to remember that Spielberg was not trying to make the same movie again. He changed things up a lot and made an effort to show audiences something different. But it was a bit of a gamble and it didn't necessarily please everyone. It's funny, The Lost World has some of my favorite sequences in the entire franchise, and it also has some of my least favorite sequences in all the movies. But despite its problems and shortcomings, The Lost World is still a solid chapter in the series. And now it's pretty obvious that my number 1 favorite Jurassic Park movie is Jurassic Park. I know, it's not too surprising, but Jurassic Park is still at the top of the food chain. Steven Spielberg not only brought life to one of Michael Crichton's best-selling novels, he did so in a way that changed the face of cinema forever. This movie stands as a benchmark in the way that visual effects and CGI are used in the movies today. Just about everyone remembers where they were and how they felt the first time they saw this movie. It is truly one of the biggest cinematic spectacles in history. But Jurassic Park isn't just a showcase of special effects, it's one of Spielberg's best films and arguably one of the biggest summer blockbusters of all time. All the characters are well developed, the writing is solid, the suspense is some of the best we've seen since Jaws, and unlike a lot of movies from the early 1990s, Jurassic Park still manages to stand the test of time and remains to be a thrilling and frightening masterpiece. Well, that's it. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree with my list? I'd love to see how you would rank the Jurassic Park films films, so go ahead, drop your ranking in the comments down below, and let's discuss. And if you'd like to see me do more content like this on my channel, or if you have any other ideas of future videos you'd like to see me do, please let me know down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and please smash that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you at the movies.